Hello, my name is Connie Kennedy Howard, and I'm chair of the College Theater Department and will be directing the musical You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown this summer.
And I'm Amelia Barrett, professor of theater and director of Chicken Little this summer. We're here to talk about both the auditions and the two shows, which will be produced in the college's hybrid format this summer. That's a blend of alternative instruction off campus and rehearsal, and staging on campus in rehearsal rooms and on stage, and finally on set and fully produced.
We're very excited to have you join the department working with these two great productions this summer. You will be auditioning for both and will be considered for both. For the last 3 terms, we have done 5 fully virtual productions, and we're very excited to be back on campus for the majority of our time together, using all safety protocols, of course.
So here's some information you need to know about the department and these projects. As we're at a college, these shows are classes, and every cast member must enroll with a permit created by the director. The class is Theater 2211, Repertory Acting, and the class is the rehearsals and performance for each of the productions. It's a 3-credit-hour class. The cast list will be solidified by May 22nd at 5 p.m., and the directors will notify the cast via email. Your electronic permit for the enrolling in the class will be generated by the director, Connie, and me, and you'll have to be enrolled by Wednesday, May 26th. You'll need to attend a first virtual rehearsal on May 24th at 7 p.m. And at that time, a very specific rehearsal schedule of when we'll be meeting via Zoom and when we'll be on campus and where will be distributed.
We'll talk about the auditions in a moment, but the audition form, which you'll be filling out, is considered a contract with the department. Be thorough on your submission. It's possible that one or both of us will ask via email or phone if a conflict on your form is movable after you've submitted. Obviously, the fewer conflicts one has, the more flexible it can be to create a schedule, because we need to rehearse live and to build the show.
Also attached to this page is a sheet from our department handbook called Actors' Conduct. Though we don't think anything will be surprising, these are expectations we have of actors working in and toward professional model, as one would expect in a college department. Filling in your signature line on the audition form, which we will have to consider you, signifies that you understand and accept these expectations and that you've been thorough on the information submitted.
So here are some points to remember. You need to remain in good standing in all of your courses to participate in the production. If you have a tattoo that will be visible and the director and the costumer decide it's not appropriate for that particular character, you'll need to purchase the cover-up to eliminate it from view. In addition, there's a hair question on the audition form that we need you to consider and answer carefully.
So now I'm going to talk to you about Chicken Little and the process. Chicken Little is also, mostly is called Chicken Little in America. And if you Google search it and put English fairy tales, it's often called Henny Penny. I'm sure most of you know the story, if not the ancient fairy tale, maybe you know the Disney version that happened where they are trying to overcome aliens. But the basic story is this, that Chicken Little is playing outside and is hit on the head by an acorn and thinks that the sky is falling. So Chicken Little freaks out and runs around finding all of her or his friends and telling them that, look, I found this acorn and the sky is falling. Ducky Lucky, Goosey Lucy, and all the rest of the ganders. So they're running in some stories to have the king solve the problem. And in our story that we'll create together, I really feel strongly that we're not going to place the onus on the king to solve the problem, but that all of Chicken Little, Henny Penny, and all of the little friends will solve the problem on their own. But of course, as a cast, we'll have to figure that out because we're going to script our show. We're developing it out of improvisation, and then eventually we'll share a Google Doc and we'll fill in all of the things that we created during rehearsal, and it will get memorized and will be set.
And for You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, some of you may know Charlie Brown, even though the heyday of Charlie Brown was probably before your time. But there was a wonderful revival, for instance, just in 2016. but it's a comic strip. It's based on a comic strip. And so the characters, there are 6 characters, and we are probably going to add 2 more. That is really a day in the life of, and it's about lots of things, but the thing that speaks to me the most in 2021 about these little kids from Schroeder and Charlie Brown and Lucy and Sally and Linus and Snoopy is that it's really the search to figure out what makes a good person, what makes a good man or a good woman. And what they arrive at is trying to do your best all the time and really supporting one another. That's what the entire show drives toward, but it's really a day in the life of Charlie Brown and all of his friends. So because it's a musical, there are several things that you're going to do for the audition, which we'll talk about in just a minute. But to me, the most important part is sort of the passion that goes into each task. If you've ever watched small children playing, their fantasy becomes their entire existence for the time that they're playing whatever it is they're playing, pirates or, princesses or dolphins or whatever, and that's a lot of what Charlie Brown is, whether we're watching Snoopy, fantasizing about the Red Baron or Charlie Brown trying to get his kite up in the air. I think it's really universal in its themes. So the auditions, we're going to talk about those now. First thing you're going to do is on this page, you're going to open and fill out the fillable audition form. Both directors will use that form, so please be thorough in noting all of your conflicts from May 24th through July 19th. Additional conflicts probably can't be accommodated, as the rehearsal schedule for both shows will be created using these forms. Those rehearsals will probably be primarily late afternoon or weekday evenings and weekend times. Exactly what those schedules are will be dependent, at least partially, by the availability of all of the parties on the project.
Each production will probably be rehearsing between 4 and 5 times a week, and usually, but not necessarily, always, an actor will be called to nearly every rehearsal. Both shows are ensemble shows, so you'll probably be called most of the time. And for instance, in my case, we are all creating the script together, and there is no script until we create it. So we'll need everybody's input and everybody's improvisation until we finally set it. You're going to save your file with your full name, audition form, spring 21. So for instance, if it was me, it would be Amelia Barrett _ audition form, spring 21. For Chicken Little auditions, attached here is one of many versions. We'll be using America's Chicken Little. Please feel free to use any of the characters from the story and create a monologue from your own contemporary take on the story. Remembering, of course, that this is a family show. It's meant for all kids, old and young alike. And then save your file as your name, Chicken Little, summer 21.
For Charlie Brown's audition, there are 3 parts. First is 16 bars from a musical theater selection with track and accompaniment preferred, but a cappella without any music is acceptable. The second is a dance combination following the instructions and the demonstration from the choreographer via a recorded link that's on this page. It's a YouTube link. And then the third part is memorizing or reading a monologue from the play. I'm going to attach to this page a monologue of Charlie Brown or of his little sister, Sally. And then you will film all 3 parts of your audition. You're going to save those files as your name - Charlie Brown - summer 21.
To submit your audition, option 1, upload your form and audition videos directly to the College Theater Dropbox. You'll see the address there on this page, which is tinyurl.com/CT auditions. Make sure to use your audition form and video both include your name and the show you're auditioning for in the title. You do not need to have a Dropbox account in order to upload your files. Option 2, attach monologues or link to your video to an email and send to ctauditions@cod.edu. You can see the name right here on the screen, but you're gonna, in case you want to write it down right now, it's capital C, capital T, auditions@cod.edu. And the subject of your email should read your name dash summer 21 auditions. Make sure to attach your audition form and please submit by May 19th at 5 p.m.
We're so excited to see your auditions and to work with you. This will be a great summer. Thanks.
Thanks.